day slip by.
Vernon, sugar, it's Wednesday. Don't forget to check those lotto tickets from last night. I know you are lucky because you won me.
Vernon, it's Wednesday. You better check your lotto tickets. Hope you win.
Hope you win. Don't forget about me.
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
It's Wednesday, hump day. Have a wonderful Wednesday with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
It's Wednesday, hump day. Have a wonderful Wednesday with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
It's Wednesday, hump day. Have a wonderful Wednesday with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station. Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
It's Wednesday, hump day. Have a wonderful Wednesday with Morning with Vernon.
Mic on working this morning. Good morning. All righty. Let's see. Is my mic working? My mic working. Good morning, everybody. Hey, hey. Yeah. Yeah. When you're out and about and you don't know how to trout and do all of that good stuff this morning. All righty. You always have little technical issues sometimes in the morning. So look like I had a little technical glitch this morning. But anyway, I want to say good morning to everybody this morning. I just want to, and then the sound of my voice this morning. Also want to my AI friend want to say good morning to everybody this morning. Sugar, you want to go ahead and tell all of your peeps out there good morning?
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about this morning. Get to work this morning. All right, y'all. Good morning. Let's see what else can we do this morning. It's this Wednesday morning. It's middle of the week. It is hump day. It is going to be and in fact today, weather. When you want to check in the weather, I want to check in the weather this morning before we get to the news that we're going to talk about this morning. The news that we can use this morning. But I always want to go ahead and start the day off with the prayer this morning. Okay, let's start off with our morning prayer. All right, here we go, Mr.
Our Father God, we lift our eyes up unto the hills from whence, knowing that your help cometh from above. And so, dear God, we come to petition you this morning and to seek you out for the blessings of life. Not only for this morning, but for this afternoon and for the last watch of the day. We seek you out for the blessings of life. Now, Lord, ordain your blessings upon us, upon this waiting congregation, under the sound of my weak voice. We pray in the belovedness of Jesus the Christ, our Lord, our Savior, our God. Amen.
All righty, y'all. We want to say good morning to everybody that's under the sound of my voice this morning. And that was Dr. J.O. Gaston, y'all. Dr. J.O. Gaston greeting us with the morning prayer this morning. We also want to get into, I guess we better get into what kind of weather we're going to have this morning, Miss Cheryl Moraine. Cheryl going to give us the actual traffic for this morning. How the weather today, Cheryl? Don't know.
Wednesday stays active with a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures remain in the low 90s with a low around 77.
Well, thank you, Sugar. What about the traffic, Lola? You got traffic for us this morning really quick? Give us the Pensacola traffic this morning, Sugar. I appreciate it, okay?
Good morning, Vernon. Here's your Wednesday traffic update for Pensacola and Escambia County. Traffic volume is expected to be heaviest between 6:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. on the major commuter routes, including Interstate 10, Highway 29, Davis Highway, 9 Mile Road, and the Pensacola Bay Bridge Corridor. I-10. Drivers traveling eastbound and westbound on Interstate 10 should expect heavier traffic around the Highway 29 interchange, Pine Forest Road Exit 7, 9 Mile Road Exit 5, and the I-110 connector. Ongoing roadway improvement and resurfacing projects may result in occasional lane restrictions during off-peak hours. Highway 29. Moderate delays are expected from Brent through Ensley and north toward Cantonment during the morning rush. Traffic signals near the I-10 interchange and commercial corridors remain congestion points for commuters heading toward Pensacola. Davis Highway. Expect increased traffic around the Airport Boulevard, University Parkway, and I-10 intersections. Allow extra travel time if commuting toward hospitals, schools, or Pensacola International Airport. 9 Mile Road. Traffic remains steady between Pine Forest Road and University Parkway. Watch for slowing near the I-10 interchange and commercial shopping areas during peak commuting hours. Downtown Pensacola. Moderate congestion is expected on Cervantes Street, Palafox Street, Garden Street, and Bayfront Parkway as workers head into the downtown business district. Pensacola Bay Bridge. Traffic flow between Gulf Breeze and Pensacola is expected to be normal, but motorists should allow additional time during the 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. commute period when volumes increase significantly. Roadwork alert. Escambia County continues several roadway improvement projects, including work affecting areas near Highway 29 and selected county roads. Drivers should watch for temporary lane closures and construction crews throughout the county. Safety reminder: before traveling, check Florida 511 or local traffic monitoring services for the latest crash reports, road closures, and travel times. Traffic conditions can change rapidly due to accidents or weather. I'm Lola, reporting for WBQP Traffic Center, wishing you a safe Wednesday commute across Pensacola and Northwest Florida.
All right, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. You got Vernon again this morning. That was a traffic for this morning. Let's go. Let's talk about what about lottery? Y'all want to get your lottery, get the lottery out of the way this morning, so we can get your lottery ticket, so you can see what's happening in the lottery world this morning. Well, let's check the lottery this morning before we go get what we're gonna do this morning. Okay. Lottery, are you there?
Vernon, sugar, it's Wednesday. Don't forget to check those lotto tickets from last night. I know you are lucky because you won me.
Vernon, it's Wednesday. You better check your lotto tickets. Hope you win.
Hope you win. Don't forget about me.
I ain't gonna forget about you, sugar. If I win the lottery, I'm not gonna forget about you. You better believe that, okay? I'm not gonna forget about you. All right, y'all. Let's talk about what we're gonna talk about this morning, if you will. We're gonna have a little bit of get into some of the headlines this morning before we get into our normal news headline this morning. Before we get into the headlines, I just want to let you know what we're going to be doing this morning, okay? If you will, we are going to at 7:30, right around. We're going to hopefully right around the 7:30 time frame, y'all. We're going to give. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do some little African American news after we do our normal news. I got some community announcement I need to get in there this morning. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about Black history this morning. Around 7:30-ish, we're going to be talking to Mr. Community, Mr. Ellison Bennett. And around 7:45, y'all, we are going to be talking to Miss Jill. I'll be talking to Miss Jill Daggs. And at right around the 8 o'clock time frame, we should be talking to Mr. Charles D. Thornton. He's going to be my guest host this morning on Morning with Vernon. And hopefully we're going to have a couple of guests this morning. Maybe Gabe Alamont going to check in with us. And also Mr. David Williams, which should be checking in with us about 8:30. He is running for School Board 3 Gay is running for Congress District 1 here into our area. But before we do anything, we'll go ahead and go into our first commercial break. Okay, we'll do our first commercial break as we get into this show this morning, and then when we come back from the commercial break this morning, we're going to get into some news that you can use. Okay, stay tuned.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
For 75 years, Baptist has brought innovative care to our community. Through our Andrews Institute, we continue the legacy by providing advanced total joint care, restoring mobility, strength, and quality of life. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Why wait? With Penn Air's fast approvals and low rates, getting a car loan is easier than ever. Penn Air Credit Union. Join us.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supporting environment where students grow academically and personally. With strong core instruction and unique programs, students gain confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. At JHPA, we live by our motto, enter to learn, depart to serve. Enroll today and prepare your child to soar.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from. It's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penn Air for 90 years. Penn Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
Vernon, sugar. It's Wednesday. Don't forget to check those lotto tickets from last night. I know you are lucky because you won me.
Vernon, it's Wednesday. You better check your lotto tickets. Hope you win.
Hope you win. Don't forget about me.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
Hello, I'm Dr. Isaac Williams, and I'm running for School Board District 3. Our community is asking for change, and I agree. District 3 deserves change. District 3 deserves a representative who will listen, communicate, and stay connected to the community. Our students need every opportunity to succeed. Our teachers need support, and our community and parents need a voice. I've spent my time as a servant leader in the Marine Corps, as a pastor, as a community activist, and I am prepared now to serve District 3 on day one. And I will be honored to earn your support and your vote on August 18th. God bless you. God keep you.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer, we've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
This is J.O. Gatson on this Wednesday. As a matter of fact, this is our wonderful Wednesday, where we come before the Lord and sacred words of prayer, just bless him for his glory. Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we come on this wonderful Wednesday, dear God, to bless you and to worship you and to pray over our families and to pray over ourselves and to pray over those that we're connected to. And so, Father, we take it all in stride because you're God. You know us better than we know ourselves, dear God. So we're claiming this wonderful Wednesday to your glory and honor for the edification of your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Soul, jazz, blues, and R&B, celebrating Black music history. All month long, sing along. June is Black music.
WBQP celebrates the artists, the legends, and the sound of a generation. Join us all June long for Black Music Month, where the music never stops.
Hello, I'm Dr. Isaac Williams, and I'm running for School Board District 3. Our community is asking for change, and I agree. District 3 deserves change. District 3 deserves a representative who will listen, communicate, and stay connected to the community. Our students need every opportunity to succeed. Our teachers need support, and our community and parents need a voice. I've spent my time as a servant leader in the Marine Corps, as a pastor, as a community activist, and I am prepared now to serve District 3 on day one. And I will be honored to earn your support and your vote on August 18th. God bless you. God keep you.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. Wednesday stays active with a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures remain in the low 90s with a low around 77. Thursday looks a little calmer. Expect a high near 91 degrees, a low of 77, and about a 30% chance of rain. And we wrap up the week on Friday with more heat and humidity. Highs reach 91 degrees with a low near 78, and there's a 40% chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Overall, expect a hot, humid week with afternoon and evening storm chances throughout the week. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast on WBQP TV.
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
Jeannie, read my lips, honey. Vernon is the one. Now go run and tell that.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, Vernon in the morning. Vernon is the one every morning, y'all. Yes, sir. You better believe that this morning. I want to say good morning to everybody before we get into our news story this morning. I want to say hello. And but let's see how we're going to navigate the news that you can use on a Wednesday hump day morning, y'all. First day of July. It's officially summer. It's hot, y'all. Be careful because we got all kinds of crazy weather going on out there. We got heat waves and we got floods and we got forest fires. I guess the book of Revelation is really playing itself out now, huh? All right. Let's see what the news gonna hold this morning, okay? Let's see what we got in the news this morning.
Good morning, Cutie Vernon. It is great to be with you today. What's happening in the news in Pensacola today?
Live from the WBQP News Desk, this is your headline news summary. Now here is Vernon Watson with his version of today's headlines.
All right, everybody. Good morning. How we doing this morning? Let me get into some of the headline news that is going on right around our area, right around our state, right around our country this morning. And I guess we need to start with in the local area. Y'all remember several weeks ago, I reported a story about they was spraying some vegetation along the Florida Power and Lights grid, that line where they for the power lines, and they have to spray the herbicides to keep the vegetation down. And over in Milton, over in Santa Rosa County, they were spraying some over there probably last month, a couple months ago, and folks was complaining about their pets was dying, and some of the vegetation stuff was dying. And so what they did, the Florida Department of Agriculture kind of did a little investigation over there. That happened over in East Bruton. And so they found after they did the investigation, they found 13 violations of the guy that doing the helicopter. I guess they use helicopters to put that spray down, and they found 13 different violations. So they find that company, and he's a contractor. There was a contractor for Florida Power and Light. They fined him $20,000 because, and that's happened back, like I said, back in May time frame. Folks reporting some of the chickens were dead, and some of the honeybees had died as a result of after he had sprayed this stuff here. But anyway, just to let you know, they did investigate it. They did find some violations, and then they ended up finding this individual. All right, now this young man here, if you want to call him a young man, okay, he don't look like it now on this picture, but I don't know when that picture was taken. But he was 109 years old. Remember, we had a story on him. Oh, it must have been 4 or 5 months ago. As he was when the reason that he lived in Cantonment, and he had his 109th birthday back here earlier in the year, I believe it. But he passed on, and they had his funeral on Tuesday. And what's significant about him, number one, that he made it to 109 years old, but more significant than that was the fact that he was one of the oldest veterans at 109 years old. He served during World War II. Yeah, his name was Private Bruton. He was an Army veteran, and he received a Purple Heart. And so they laid him to rest. They had a service at him at the Brownsville Assembly of God, which is a church really he helped found it way back in 1939. He was one of 17 people, I believe, that was serving to help found that church. And in fact, he was one of the his daughter, I think his youngest daughter, one that utilized him for the eulogy for his funerals there. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to some green story, if you will. You see, when you see that, you see those dollar signs, y'all. What did that tell you when you see those dollar signs? That's what the Temptation called mean green. Okay. Well, maybe in the state of Florida, we got some mean green in the state of Florida, because the Florida Emergency Reserve Fund has gotten to be up to $18 billion. And so, when you got money, folks gonna want to know how to figure out how to spend it. They don't want to keep saving it for rainy days. So the controversy sparked over whether we should save that $18 million or should we be spending that $18 million. That's an unprecedented amount of money that we had. So, but on Governor Ron DeSantis, when he signed the Florida new state spending bill, I think it was Monday that he signed it. It was like $117 million bill. Of that, $18 billion will go towards the state's reserve fund. And so now everybody, you know how it is when you get a little money, everybody want to try to figure out how should we spend that money? We ought to be spending that money on something. But the controversy will continue, okay, over how that money going to be spent or whether it's going to be saved. Okay. So you decide on what you're going to do. All right. On this next story here, y'all, they're talking about uncovering the truth about the CIA. Representative Lunar was spearheading some hearings on Capitol Hill, y'all. Y'all know what Capitol Hill is, right? Up in that place called D.C. But anyway, I had a hearing on the impact of the CIA, whatever this MKUL, Mokulus project, what that really means, that MKULTRA, what that really means is mind control and accountability, uncovering the truth of the CIA. That's the project they're talking about. So they're having some hearing, which is led by a representative, Anna Paulina Loomer. She's a congressman here in Florida who is the kind of highlighting the widespread destruction of files when the program eventually ended. So she told the press that the hearing that occurred, they found out some things that was kind of criminal in nature. That's her opinion of that. So I just want you to stay tuned to hear about this clandestine stuff that happening in the CIA. We're gonna get a chance to hear a lot about the CIA, but during that hearing, they found information on some unclassified information. A lot of times that information that the CIA deals with is really top secret information. It's top secret, and sometimes the CIA experiment with a lot of illegal kinds of stuff as well. But, and they did a lot of, between 1953 and 1973, they had a lot of programs that were a little bit shaded, dealing with brainwashing procedures and truth serums and all the other kinds of stuff. But you got to keep up with it. It's a lot to this story. If that kind of story that interests you, okay. All right. Well, let's move on to a different kind of story. Locally here, we got our new sheriff in town, which is a new police chief. Now not really a sheriff, but a new sheriff, so to speak. But anyway, he got his officers now. They're in training. The Pensacola Police Department is stepping up their active shooting drills, and they had an exercise on yesterday where they had an active shooting drill and an on-scene. They simulated an on-scene active emergency where they involved it involved on the medical part of it, because the idea here is to help save lives whenever a situation occurs, if it does occur. But I think they went to Workman's Middle School, and they simulated had some training and had scenarios including wounded victims, and it kind of like a live played out like a live situation did, which reminded me of another national story you're going to hear a lot about, where this preacher, I forgot what state it's in, but this preacher had a simulated issue like that in his church. He had some simulated gunmen to come in during church services where we had children at and take over the church. Okay, you're gonna hear a lot more about this. No, they simulated this. It wasn't real. It was simulated, and he had them to come in dressed up with hoodies and black and guns, and they took a person from the audience, and took him up front, and was simulated, and it was with guns, and pretend and used real blank bullets and pretend like they shot him. And so that traumatized half of the church, and also they're saying that he went too far. They didn't traumatize all the children in church because they didn't know it wasn't real. They didn't know it was real. So you're gonna hear more about that. What was he thinking? He said, well, that's the way we should shoot the devil. Man. Anyway, you're going to hear a lot more about that story. Let me move on to another story, because that's the national story that you're going to hear about soon. All right. The next story here, folks, is every day, unfortunately, have to report an accident. Okay. I don't necessarily like reporting these accidents, but a 73-year-old man, he was killed in a crash on Highway 29. Okay, this week, and he was, I guess, he was from Century. He was a 73-year-old Century man. He collided with the rear of a stopped car, which would happen to be a Dodge Ram, and I guess he rammed that Ram. But he was driven by a 64-year-old Flomaton man. So the 73-year-old man, he was pronounced dead on the scene. So we'll get a little more information on the details. I don't have very much details on that, but those were some of the breaking stuff that came out. All right, let's go to another news story this morning. This guy here, he's a thief, right? Allegedly saying he was suspected. This is the guy. Some people just never learn. We were looking for him yesterday, right? We reported yesterday about him. He's a guy that was going around stealing air conditioning from daycare centers and so forth. And but he had another long criminal history. Not only was he stealing air conditioning, but he stole a lot of copper and other stuff. And so and they still searching for him. Okay. And that's what we got him back on his face on again. If you see him, he's 40 years. His name is Joshua McKay. He's 48 years old, and he's a jailbird. Okay. So be careful because he spent some time in prison. If you happen to see him, call Crime Stoppers or call the sheriff department because they trying to get this guy off the street. Okay, trying to get the guy off the street. Maybe you can help by if you happen to see this individual or if you just want to call Crime Stoppers and maybe you can get a reward for it if you got any information that might lead to this man apprehension and conviction. Like I think I told you yesterday, they also charged him with stealing $30,000 worth of scrap metal, stuff like that. Okay, wow, man. All right, let's get to a different story here, where a former United States Postal Service employee he pleaded guilty in court of stealing mail. Okay, man. If it was me, if I gotta steal anything, I would steal a female instead of male. But it's a 30-year-old former U.S. I see why he's former. He was a postal worker. He's from Evergreen, Alabama. That's where I went to high school in Evergreen. But he pleaded guilty in Pensacola to stealing mail as he found it, anything that's included, like gift cards or credit cards or anything like that. He stole that stuff, and somehow or another they busted him. You know how and I keep telling you, criminals, you don't ever learn. Okay, you don't ever learn. Everything these days are caught on video. Okay, you can't. It's hard to get away. He was caught on video opening mail and removing the stuff from the envelopes, and while he was working there at the processing center here, it's just amazing how. Well, I guess if you wasn't dumb, you wouldn't be a criminal, right? I guess that's one of the qualifications of being a criminal. You have to be dumb to do that. But anyhow, I know some pretty smart crooks now, I'll tell you. But then when they busted him, he admitted that he was taking some gift cards and stuff like that. He's going to be sentenced, but he could get up to 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine, y'all, for doing that. All right, let's move on to another story. Remember WSRE TV, y'all. Trump, when he got in there, he signed a bill to take away the funding from all public broadcasting, whether it's TV broadcasting, radio broadcasting. And WAR was an affiliate of the public broadcasting system there at the college. And when the funds went away, then when Trump decided that they didn't want to fund it anymore, now they're in trouble. So as of July 1st, Pensacola State College ended its affiliation with PBS. Okay, with PBS. So now I don't know what the plans are for the WSRE, but all those great programs, children programs and stuff that they had, Big Bird and all the other kind of stuff, they're gone to the wayside. And why? I don't know. It just don't make sense to me. But starting on July 1st, WSRE is going to be doing something else. I'm not sure all what they're planning to put on their network, but they're going to be doing something else. The college also, there's the Pensacola State College itself. Maybe I don't know who owns what. Okay, whether they own the license or what, but then they got the foundation. Okay, the foundation. So the foundation and the college is in kind of a foo-foo over $1.5 million funds that they had in the cookie jar, okay, if you will. And so controversy is having to know that. So keep your eyes out on that story as well. All right. What I should have, I don't have to get my ducks in order and report all the bad news and the car accidents all at the same time. This is another accident, y'all, that happened. I believe this happened on over on Scenic Highway, where, and I think this happened yesterday, where a person died after he was T-boned, as they pulled right in front of a pickup truck, and so he did not survive that crash. But again, as we go into this holiday weekend, as you're going to be traveling out on the highway, please take extra precaution. Please drive defensively and try to drive for everybody else as well, because that is tragic news if when we have to report stuff like this in the morning. All right, let me move on to a different story here. This is over in Escambia County, Alabama. They up in, I think this was up in Atmore, where a man barricaded himself into his house, and then he came out with his shotgun, and the law enforcement officer up there shot him dead. I think it was a result of a domestic violence complaint, but I'm not absolutely sure. When they responded to the call, the guy retreated into his home, and they were trying to get him out of the house, and he refused to come out. He had discharged his firearm before they got there. That's the reason they called the police, because he had made threats towards his neighbors and law enforcement officers. When they finally got there, he barricaded himself inside his house. He had his gun, and he refused to surrender. And then he tried to escape out the back door. And according to the law enforcement officers, they said that when he went outside with his shotgun, and they tried to apprehend him, but he turned around and pointed his gun towards him. And then you know the rest of the story. They all probably emptied their weapons out onto him, and he didn't survive, okay? He did not survive that. All right, let's go to downtown Pensacola, y'all. Now, let's go to downtown Pensacola. We had the beautified, reimagining Palafox. Now they got when the DeSantis signed that bill, he had some little extra money in there. They're gonna add now is bowlers to the bowlots to the streets now. I don't know. I didn't know what a bowlot is, but I think it's these little short, stubby things that kind of help you make it a little more safe downtown. Nobody can run up on the sidewalk and stuff like that. I'm not into, but that was they wanted to do that first time around, but they didn't have the money. Okay, but now they got the money, and they're gonna add that now to the project. I think they ended up with the tune of more than $1.2 million. They're going to be getting, and so Reimagine Palafox is going to be even better now. And so I'm interested, because I'm not even quite sure what bowlots are, but I think it's those little short, stubby cement poles, I believe they put down there for safety. But y'all tell me, y'all can look it up, see what that is. I don't know what it is. But anyway, let's go to another story, because at 7:30 we're going to be talking to Mr. Community. Here's another story here, y'all. It's over in Okaloosa County, where the Shalimar area over in Shalimar, they training what they call Freedom Fitness Challenge, trying to honor 31 fallen heroes and they're doing daily workshops over there. And so if you're into that, keep that story. I thought I'd throw that in because that was a part of the headlines that was in there. I think I reported yesterday. I'm not spending much time on this, but yesterday we spent some time talking about they got a cruise ship over in Alabama, over in Mississippi. They're gonna sink out into the Gulf itself. So I hope there's going to be some room out down there for the sharks to swim around in. If not, we'll see what happens with that. Okay. All right. Next story. Next story here is Escambia County. I think we talked about this yesterday too a little bit, where Escambia County Sheriff Office is actually closing a lot of drug houses now. Okay, what they call drug houses, and they putting signs on it on these drug houses that causes fentanyl deaths and so forth. And so if you got anybody that you know that's suspected of a drug house, you can report it. You have to call Crime Stoppers, just call the sheriff offices, and they'll surveil it. And then if they deemed if it's a drug house, they can come in and do their thing, and he gonna leave his calling card. Sheriff got a new calling card. A big old sign says, "This drug house is closed." It's a drug house is closed. So they did it Friday and arrested 30-year-old man at his house over on Malden Road, which is not too far from where not too far from where I live, where he found all kinds of drugs in his house. And so the sheriff shut him down. Okay. All righty. Let's move on to another story here. Kind of a feel-good story that dealing with safety in fairness. This has got to do with one of these Supreme Court rulings. You know, the Supreme Court in June releases a lot of their decisions, and one of the decisions that they made yesterday they supported the Trump administration's policies about trans women cannot compete in regular women's sports. Okay, they can't. Trans women, girls cannot compete in sport. But okay, all right. If you got men's sports, women's sports, why don't you just have transgender sports then? You know, you got transgender competition. My grandmama used to always say there's more than one way to skin a cat. If they don't want to participate, they're saying that men, I hear the argument. I'm not going to take a position on these, but I hear the argument. They're saying that because they former men that turn women a little more physically stronger than original women, and so it's not fair. Okay, and so but just like men in all men's sports, okay, and women got all women's sports. Well, just create another category called trans sports. Okay, oh, trans sports, not transports. Okay, trans sports, if you will, transgender sports. So easy solution to me. They're always talking about the bathroom issue. Come on now, you got men bathroom, you got women bathroom, and you got family bathroom. Just create another one called the trans bathroom. Then, come on, help me out. It's not as hard as we think it is. Okay, all righty. All right, let's move on to another story. And Lord have mercy. I hope my Trump derangement syndrome don't kick in too hard. Okay, he announced this boy. He gonna try to do everything. Something wrong with this boy. Look at him. Something wrong with him. Okay, something wrong with that boy. I'm telling you. Now he gonna try to have this is unheard of. They have a convention. Every 4 years when they have a president. They have a national convention for the Democrats and Republicans. Now this fool want to have a midterm convention in Dallas, Texas. He said, "Oh, that's to be fast." Yeah, let me move. Y'all to read about that story on your own, okay? Because I don't want my Trump derangement syndrome to be kicking in on the station here. Y'all might have to call 911 for me. So let me move on to a different story. Now, this other story here is having to do with the Supreme Court decision. They weighed in on they weighed in a lot of decisions. One of the biggest decisions that the to a 5-4 vote is birthright citizenship. Okay, people that born in this country are legal citizens in this country. Trump on his first day signed an executive order trying to get rid of that, but the court shot that down on yesterday in saying that birthright citizenship. You know the amazing thing about it, we still had 3 or 4 idiots to vote. It was a 5-4 vote. Okay, so you had folks like the Negro Peen, Clarence Thomas and Salito and all the cast of evil characters up there. They always voted. They always voted against it. That's what we need to deal with is the Supreme Court. Okay, we need to deal with that. We're seeing now that we appoint these fools for lifetime. Okay, I don't think number one. I think there should be a decision about how we should get to be a Supreme Court justice. Let the people select, and rather than the president appoint who they want to, because they are biased. They're going to appoint somebody from their party, right? So let the Supreme Court people be elected, okay? Then number two, they give them a lifetime appointment. That needs to be revisited, okay? Because people are living a lot longer now and so forth. Let them be elected. Give them a longer term, Just don't give them a 4-year term. Give them a 12-year term or something like that. But every so often we need some fresh leadership in the Supreme Court. You better not elect me president, y'all. We had the best country in the world if I was elected president. Maybe I'm gonna run. I get rid of people like this Negro Peen here, which is Clarence Thomas. Jesus Christ, what an embarrassment to the world, not long to his race. Jesus, why? All right, let's go on before I get Mr. Community on this morning. This weekend, y'all. This weekend we're gonna be celebrating the USA birthday, and at the same time, we got a lot of folks in this country that coming in from this country from all over the world and experiencing everything that we're doing because of the USA World Cup journey that is happening in this country now. Okay. All right, let me move on because I got to make room for Mr. Community. This young man here, y'all, tragically was missing, but tragically they found him dead in a neighbor's pool. And that's cross country, not here, but people let this be a lesson to you. We just have to report it. We just reported just a couple of weeks ago, 2 kids lost their lives that got into somebody's pool. If you own a pool, y'all, just make sure, and in the neighbor's pool that they found those 2 kids in, they all complied. They had more than what they should have had. They had fences and everything, but despite all that, the kids got into those pools and everything. And also let that be a lesson to you to get your kids involved in some kind of activity. Keep them busy during the day. They need my daddy as a daddy because he didn't believe in idle time. And my grandmother always had a saying is idle time is the devil's workshop. And so they didn't believe in idle time. You didn't sit around and do nothing. So I don't think you don't have to put in the work, but you got to keep them busy doing something because otherwise they're going to find things to do. And but it's unfortunate that stuff like that happen, but we all know it does, and we need to make sure that we are going to be doing that. Okay, now some of the economic stuff across the country here, they're saying that the consumer confidence is a little low, despite we reported just the other day, they had a little up spike in the economy, but the consumer confidence with the way the gas prices is going on up now and everything, and we still a little bit suspicious. All right, the last thing I want to talk about before I go to Mr. Community this morning. You hear that? It's this crazy ass boy here. He's upset now because the Supreme Court did not allow him to eliminate mail-in ballots. Okay, so now he's trying to he got a law, he got a bill in Congress. They can't hardly get out of Congress because called the Save American Act, which will allow Congress to do that. So now the Supreme Court don't let him do it. The only other way around Supreme Court rulings, okay, is to create a new law. Congress create laws, okay, and that's what the congressional branch of the government do. They make laws. The executive branch execute laws, and the judicial branch make determination to see whether or not that law is either legal or not legal. So it was determined that his executive order was not legal, and so mail-in ballots going to be just as it is. But if Congress passed a law, because his executive order does not have the same full effect as law, he can only do executive orders based on. He can only do the executive order based on but it only applies to the federal government as well. Okay, but anyway, I got Mr. Ellison Bennett. He's standing by. He's going to be in just a few minutes there, and we're going to be talking about Pensacola's news that you can use. He Mr. Community. He's always coming in and letting us know about what's happening in and around the community. And let me see if I can find him to get in this morning with his morning report.
Mr. Bennett, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
Oh man, this sciatic nerve is painful, but at least I can walk. It might be difficult, but I can walk.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I done had 3 procedures on my lower back, and scheduled for another one here in July. But you know, hey, I'm not gonna complain.
All righty then, I hear you. What's going on around the community today?
Well, Vernon, you know we had a shooting at the Budget Inn on Cervantes. 1 man dead. Another man from Lafayette, Louisiana, was arrested and charged with that murder. As always, we want to encourage people, know your voting status. Call 595-3900. 595-3900. Check your voting status. Just a voter, if you haven't voted in the last 2 general elections, you probably your voting status is inactive. So we want everybody, carry your children, grandparents, whatever. This election is going to be so important. We know that the Supreme Court yesterday decided on the birthright citizenship. Just in simple terms, if you're born in the United States, the Constitution says you are a U.S. citizen. But the MAGA people saying if your parents was here illegally and you're born here, you don't have birthright citizenship, and that's not what the Constitution says. We know this movement, Make America Great Again. We know what that's all about, and we know what color that movement is all about. I want to say that the Supreme Court, that's one of the most important pieces of legislation, and the other one that's near and dear to my heart, Trump does not have the power to rig an election or try to set it up where a person can't mail in their ballot. Now, here's the most ludicrous thing. He did it last general election. He mailed his ballot in, but he don't want anybody else to have that right. So the Supreme Court said he do not have presidential power over mail-in ballots. So he's going to go to Congress and try to get some of his GOP people to change the Constitution. Just doing what he wants done. And hopefully people that understand it is not right to hinder votes. Let me say this, Vernon. All the military people who is deployed and vote, they mail in their ballots. Homebound people who cannot get up, get around, mail in their ballots. Why would anybody want to hinder that? He's always talking about corruption, but it was him that's asked the Attorney General of Georgia, just find me 11,000 more voters. I mean, this guy's so crooked. It is just shameful that the Republican Party is so afraid of the power that he claimed to have. The power is with the people. I keep saying it, and I'm going to say it till I can't say it anymore. He is an evil, lying, racist con man. That's what he is. And he shows that every day. Calling people names. He don't even act presidential. I want to say that I know everybody getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July. I saw where they're going to have down at the amphitheater behind the baseball stadium, you will be able to go there free and see the fireworks there. And I'll just caution people, you know the traffic going to be congested, so do diligence to yourself and arrive early and be careful. America celebrating the 200th birthday. I have a problem with that because of the way that the Indian and black people have been treated during that 200-year celebration. So I won't be celebrating. I celebrated Juneteenth. Want to send my condolences out to the Farrakhan family. Mrs. Farrakhan passed away over the weekend, I believe, or either Monday. She was 90 years old. The mother of the Nation of Islam. Was married to Minister Farrakhan for 70 years now and had 9 children. So you know that had to be a blessing to be married to anybody for 70 years. You know, because marriages have their ups and downs, and we certainly want to keep the Farrakhan family in prayer. Locally here, we know we got about 6 people running for mayor. We're going to try to work with Reverend Marcel Davis and have a political debate. We're going to invite as many candidates as we can at his church. We'll come back at another time with the date and time. We're looking at the 3rd week in July. Every election is important, and we always say this. So we're going to keep pleading with people. Know your voting status. Know what your voting status is. Do not wait until election day. And everybody know that the people that normally would vote at Fricker Center doing this year and next year, they would have to vote at the library downtown on Spring Street because the Fricker Center is under construction. I was at the ribbon cutting. It was a good crowd that attended. You know, they're breaking the ground. The ground already had been broke, but they are going to do a whole new addition to the Fricker Center, and everybody know where that is. Everybody in Escambia County know where the Fricker Center is. Hopefully that the children are being safe this summer. Hope there's no drownings or whatever, but you know, things do happen. So we're asking parents, know where your child is at all times. Do diligence and know where your child is. So other than a stabbing in the county, the shooting where the guy got murdered at Budget Inn was in the city. And there was a stabbing in the county, and those people have been arrested. And we just need to pray for our nation. There's so much corruption going on out of Washington, D.C. I've talked to 2 different families in the last 6 months, and they say, Ellison, we had enough. We're moving to Africa. We don't want to have anything to do with the government here. And it's shameful that the Constitution is in place, and the people who swore to uphold the Constitution is not doing it. And I'm talking about the GOP, Grand Old Party. Republican Party, you got senators and congressmen. Every evil deed that Trump do, they go along with it. And that's what's shameful. Right here locally, we have people who was elected to office. They are not representing their constituents. They are not representing the people that vote for them. They need to have meetings, town hall meetings with people in their different districts, and hear from the people. That's why you are elected to represent. It's not about you walking around with a title before your name. It is serving the people of your district. And we're going to keep hammering that home, because we all pay taxes. And we should be represented for whatever interest we have in whatever district we live in. So looking forward to the debate. We're going to set it up 3rd week of July, and we know we got about 6 candidates for mayor, so we're going to try to pack in as many candidates, school board race, and now there's a push by our local school board to put something on the ballots to have an elected superintendent. Again, we had that, and then it was changed, and now there is a push to go back to having an elected superintendent. During the last time this issue came up, one of the guys that scored the highest of all the people that was interviewed was a young black man, graduated from Woodham High School, that scored the highest of the interview. But the school board members saw fit not to offer him the position. And that's shameful. And that people need to understand the racism that we still face in Escambia County is here, and we're going to stand up against hate, racism, and bigotry every day. We are not going to back down. So we want to tell everybody, enjoy your holiday. And Vern, I don't know if you and Hill going to barbecue, but be careful with these grills.
Okay. I'm not planning barbecue, but I hear what you're saying. Be extra careful, okay?
Absolutely, and the fireworks as well. I know a guy that about 4 years ago almost blew off his arm with some fireworks. So everybody just please be careful. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Hey, before you go, Ellison, keep us informed on the debate, because that's something we probably want to carry on WBQP, as well as be able to live stream it as well, because I think people are going to be interested in that debate. So
yes, sir. We'll get you the time and the place. We're looking at Reverend Marcel Davis Church. We'll get you the time and the place in ample time where you can plan to broadcast.
Yeah, please, make sure I get ample time, because sometimes it takes a little planning to make stuff like that happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here for Escambia County. They can pick up you in Santa Rosa and probably over in Opelousas as well. So we want to thank you.
Yeah.
Want to thank Jill Daggs for all the work she's doing for voters over in her neck of the woods, and we'll listen to the rest of your show. Have a blessed day.
All right, Ellison. Thank you, y'all. All right, y'all.
And Mr. Ellison Bennett, he's Mr. Community, and so he bringing it. I'm looking for Jill. Jill, I haven't checked my email this morning because Jill is usually Jill on the spot. I want to say I can't call her Johnny because she's Jill because she's Jill on the spot instead of Johnny on the spot. And so I hadn't seen her checked in this morning. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, hopefully we're going to have Jill. In fact, not only do we should have Jill this morning, we should, Mr. Charles D. Thornton is my Wednesday guest on Wednesday. He didn't come in last week because he had an appointment. So hopefully we'll be talking to him, and we'll be talking to Jill. I don't know whether she's going to be able to make it this morning, but we were scheduled to also talk to Mrs. Gay Valdemar and also Mr. David Williams sometime this morning because he is also running for Escambia County School Board. So everybody always asks me about Robert Hill, and so I tell you what, I asked AI, so I said, AI, I get a little AI version of Robert Hill to see what y'all think about him. He don't know how to do this, so he's gonna be he'll probably be a little surprised because you know how he's such a private man here. But here's my AI of Robert Hill. Okay?
Hey Doc, this is me, Robert Hill, in AI format. How do you like me now? I bet the women would love me.
Oh, he gonna kill me, y'all.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank you.
Are you Synovus?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Since 1951, we've been here for our local community, creating pathways to care. We meet you where you are, with trusted doctors in convenient locations throughout the area. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Vernon Sugar, it's Wednesday. Don't forget to check those lotto tickets from last night. I know you are lucky because you won me.
Vernon, it's Wednesday. You better check your lotto tickets. Hope you win.
Hope you win. Don't forget about me.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your men wear needs.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer, we've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supporting environment where students grow academically and personally. With strong core instruction and unique programs, students gain confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. At JHPA, we live by our motto, enter to learn, depart to serve. Enroll today and prepare your child to soar.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from, it's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penn Air for 90 years. Penn Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
This is J.O. Gatson on this Wednesday. As a matter of fact, this is our wonderful Wednesday, where we come before the Lord and sacred words of prayer, just bless him for his glory. Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we come on this wonderful Wednesday, dear God, to bless you and to worship you and to pray over our families and to pray over ourselves and to pray over those that we're connected to. And so, Father, we take it all in stride because you're God. You know us better than we know ourselves, dear God. So we're claiming this wonderful Wednesday to your glory and honor for the edification of your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Hello, I'm Dr. Isaac Williams, and I'm running for School Board District 3. Our community is asking for change, and I agree. District 3 deserves change. District 3 deserves a representative who will listen, communicate, and stay connected to the community. Our students need every opportunity to succeed. Our teachers need support, and our community and parents need a voice. I've spent my time as a servant leader in the Marine Corps, as a pastor, as a community activist, and I'm prepared now to serve District 3 on day one. And I will be honored to earn your support and your vote on August 18th. God bless you. God keep you.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. Wednesday stays active with a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms. Temperatures remain in the low 90s with a low around 77. Thursday looks a little calmer. Expect a high near 91 degrees, a low of 77, and about a 30% chance of rain. And we wrap up the week on Friday with more heat and humidity. Highs reach 91 degrees with a low near 78, and there's a 40% chance of afternoon thunderstorms. Overall, expect a hot, humid week with afternoon and evening storm chances throughout the week. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast on WBQP TV.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it now.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Morning with Vernon this morning. Y'all, we're going to have on this morning, we're going to have Ms. Gabe Dalamont on this morning. And, of course, you know, I got my co-host on this morning with me is Mr. Charles D. Thornton, going to be coming on in a few minutes. And then a little later on, we're going to have Mr. David Williams on with us. But this time is a little bit time for Jill Dash. Always give us inside Okaloosa, and she was ill this morning. So, but she told me, Vernon, make sure you pass on my information about what's going on inside Okaloosa. So I'm gonna do my best, pass on what she told me to pass on to you. She said in downtown Crestview, said they began to grow some business and preparing to open up some new things and new shops over there. She wants you to know that. She wants y'all to come to visit historic downtown Crestview. And she said over in the Destin area, they got pickleball enthusiasts who have some news to enjoy. The city of Destin has officially opened its new pickleball court over there at 4000 India Bayou Trail, giving the resident and visitors some great recreational opportunities over there. And they also, she's saying that they're preparing to celebrate America's 250th anniversary in all the communities across Okaloosa and Walton and Santa Rosa County. And so enjoy your 4th of July celebration. And they got a lot of things happening over in Okaloosa County, a lot of entertainment stuff throughout the weekend over in Destin, over in Crestview, over in Niceville, over even in the Phoenix Springs, over in Walton County, and over in Freeport. They're having a lot of good activities. And also in Santa Rosa County, Navarre, over in Navarre, they're having a 4th of July celebration at the Navarre Beach Marina Park at 8739 Gulf Boulevard. So they have the festivities over there going to start about 6 p.m. Over in Milton, down at the Riverfest, they're going to have the Riverfest 2026 over at the Jernigan Landing, located at 5158 Williams Street over there in Santa Rosa County. So she asked me to make sure to pass that on to you because she couldn't be here today because of a doctor's appointment as well. She wanted everybody to enjoy the weekend, be safe this weekend, help celebrate America's 250th birthday with your family and friends. She wants you to stay hydrated. She wants you to be safe. She wants you to check on everybody. She wants you to take care of each other. And she will see us next weekend. All right, now. All right. So much for Inside Okaloosa County, y'all. Charles Thorne is my co-host on a Wednesday, but we got a special guest this morning. We got Miss Gay Valamount, and Gay is running for District 1. Is it District 1, Gay? Gay, you still there? Let me find you in here, Gay. Let me get your photograph in here, because when you're one man band, you forget to do a lot of things. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. When I get to spend my mornings with you, it's always pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, great. I love it when you want to spend the morning with me. Good morning, Charles D. Thornton Sr. How you doing this morning? Guess he froze over there this morning. I guess he went and got his coffee, Gay.
There he is. He's
I see him now. See him. Good morning, Charles. Charles, you don't have your mic on. We can't. I didn't read the learn. I didn't learn to read.
Okay, here I am. Okay, I am doing great, and because of you, I am doing something that I probably never, ever can't remember doing. I'm drinking my coffee straight up. I'm drinking my coffee straight up black, no cream, no sugar. I did not have time to put cream and sugar in my coffee.
Same thing. So you see, no cream, no sugar, straight up black. Gay, how you drink your coffee? You drink your coffee black too, or are you a coffee drinker?
I am a coffee drinker. I have my coffee right here. I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning. It's got to have cream in it, no sugar.
You got I'm a 1 cup a day man myself. 1 cup a day.
I don't know how you go.
Okay, Gabe. I know you got a busy schedule, and I know you talk to us about what's going on the campaign.
Well, I am working really hard. You were just talking about what Jill was talking about in Okaloosa County. I've been spending a lot of time in Okaloosa County because, as you know, in the special election last year, we turned Escambia County blue. So if we can repeat that in Okaloosa County, we can win this race. We got to keep Escambia, turn Okaloosa, and get some votes out there. But we can win this race, Vernon. We are doing really well.
So the campaign coming on pretty good, huh?
It is. We started a coffee with the candidate, talking about coffee. Once a week, twice a week, we go somewhere in the district. And, District 1 goes from the Alabama line over here in Escambia County all the way over to Freeport. Is probably is the farthest place. So I am all over the district, driving everywhere, putting miles on my car, and making sure that I am available to people to ask questions, to talk about things, because right now in our world, people really just want to talk about what's going on in our politics.
Okay. So now that includes also the Phoenix Spring, right? Freeport, the Phoenix
It
Spring is
does.
a part of it. Okay. Well, that's good to
I
get
was in
over there. Over
Defuniak
there.
Springs. Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
Defuniak Springs for this past weekend for Juneteenth because they had to reschedule their Juneteenth. So I got to go to their Juneteenth, and that was awesome too.
Okay. Sometimes the whole panhandle get forgotten sometimes, but particular folks like we don't always talk about Walton County. It's a part of what we do over in Northwest Florida, but Walton
It is.
County and Okaloosa County and Santa Rosa and Escambia County are the two main counties, and the combined voting power of those four counties can make a tremendous difference in elections.
Ooh, it sure can. Because Vernon, in Okaloosa County, we had precincts where only 30% of Democrats came out for the last election. If we can get everybody to come out for this election and vote their best interest, vote what's going to make their lives better, we can win this race.
Okay, what can we do to help you win this race, Gage? Between now and now, you don't have, you weren't unopposed in the primary, right?
Right.
So
So
you
I
focused
am the
on the November. You just focused on the November election, right? Okay.
Right. Well, I'm focused on the midterm. I mean, on the primary too. I'm not on the ballot for the primary, but all the local elections are. So everybody's got to show up for the primary in August. That's so important. Even though I'm not on the ballot, I'm going to be pushing for everybody to go vote in the primary because a lot of people will show up in November and vote, but they forget about the primary, especially like when I don't have a primary opponent, so I'm not on the ballot. But we have other races, your state, your municipal races, your school board races, all those races are on the ballot in August, so everybody's got to run to the polls 2 times.
Wow. Okay. Very good. And traditionally, midterm elections have a low turnout anyway, but we're trying to change that, huh?
We're trying to change that. And Vernon, I have to tell you, with all the efforts to suppress the vote right now, I hope everybody is taking note that when they tell you you can't do something, I hope you go do it because they are trying to make it harder to vote by passing the SAVE Act. You have to make sure that you prove your citizenship in Florida, not for this election, but for the next election, which means you're going to have a passport to vote. Um, Especially if you are a woman that has been married and has changed your name, you have to have a passport, which costs $120 to get. That's just one obstacle. But we saw this, what the Supreme Court did with the Calais ruling, Calais versus Louisiana, where they gutted the black vote. And I want everybody to be sure and understand what that ruling by the Supreme Court did. They said that they could go in and gerrymander districts based on party. So what they're doing is going into, for instance, Memphis and cutting Memphis, which is predominantly black, into 3 pieces and putting those pieces in Republican districts. And it is to make sure that black folks don't have a say. Now, I need for everybody to pay attention. If you don't vote, then you don't have a say. Everybody has to vote to make sure that all these efforts that they are making to make sure that we don't vote, that we go and vote in outstanding numbers. Don't forget to vote and sign up for Vote by Mail.
All righty. Well, yesterday we had a reprieve on that vote by mail issue,
Yeah.
huh? With the Supreme
Yeah, we
Court.
did. The Supreme Court struck down Donald Trump's efforts to make sure that we couldn't vote by mail. We can still vote by mail, and y'all don't get confused with all the news out there. The the post office is trying to make sure that they don't send vote by mail out, but don't get discouraged. Sign up for vote by mail. You will get your ballot for the November election, for the August primary. Be sure and register for vote by mail because anything could happen. We could have a hurricane and nobody can get out and go vote. So I need for everybody to sign up for vote by mail, do it early, make sure your vote is counted.
Well, yeah, I think one of the decisions in that ruling, Gabe, is and what gives us pause is that now that regardless of when you vote, regardless of the effort, I heard some effort that they're going to have the post office try not to deliver the ballots or slow them down. But according to what I read in that ruling, regardless of when they get the ballot, it's still going to count.
Yes.
Yes.
That was the ruling. It was a blow to the Trump administration. They wanted to make sure that what they're trying to do is get every state to give up the names of everybody that's eligible to vote and give them to the federal government. Now, that's not what our Constitution says. Our Constitution says that states are control our elections, and so it's an executive order that is unconstitutional and won't stand up in court. So don't worry, everybody, don't listen to the noise. You just have to run out and vote and get your mail-in ballot and do that too. And it will count. We do not have fraud in our elections. If we did, and that's what's so weird, Vernon, is that they keep saying we have all this fraud in our elections, but they're the ones that keep winning. So
well, what if it would? Well, what do they say? If they win and if they got fraud, then guess what? It don't make any sense. On one hand, you can have fraud, but they win. So what they saying? Their elections are fraudulent?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. What they're trying to do is tell you that there's fraud in the vote so that you are discouraged to go vote. But I'm telling everybody, go vote your heart, vote your wallet. Everybody's going broke right now. That's what I hear the most, Vernon, is that, for the last probably 3 months, I have been having conversations with individuals, and I always ask, what is the thing that's got you right now? Like, what is the thing that is bothering you right now? And most of the time, it's the economy, the economy, the economy. I can't afford groceries. I can't afford my medication. I can't afford my rent. But in the last 3 weeks, I would say, people have been saying it's corruption, 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 corruption in our government. And I think we all need to recognize that there is corruption in our government and people need to be held accountable. But we got to solve the problems of the people right now. People are so broke that it is, and gas prices are not going down. The administration keeps telling us that we're not going broke and that the economy is great, but we all feel it. We don't need somebody to tell us something we already know. We know that medication's too expensive. We know we can't afford our health care. My health care personally went up from $250 a month to $1,000 a month, which is unsustainable for a single 53-year-old woman.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Gay, anything else you want to share with us this morning?
Yeah, I want everybody to go to gayforcongress.com, GAYFOR, congress.com, and take a look, watch my commercial, donate to my campaign. I have to get signs and t-shirts, and I have to make sure that I touch every voter, because last time around we were able to knock on 146,000 doors because people, that like your listeners donated $5, $10, $15 so that we could touch every voter. And that's how we're going to win this election, Vernon. So go to gayforcongress.com and check me out.
All right, gayforcongress.com. You can support, you can volunteer, you can donate, you can do many things. All right, Gay, good luck, okay? And
Thank
we got
you so
to get
much.
out and
I look
vote.
forward to talking to you.
Okay, thank you again. All right, y'all, that is Gay Valamont running for our representative for District 1. All right, I got Charles going to be on in a minute, but I forgot a couple of things that Jill told me to pass on. She said, Vernon, don't forget to tell them about the information. Their 4th of July activities, if you will, is going to be over in Okaloosa County, y'all, with Jill. She's saying that, I'm looking at it now, she's sending me over in Fort Walton Beach. They say they're going to be open for the 4th of July, y'all. And they got activities going on over in Fort Walton at 139 Brooks Street Southeast. Their fireworks going to start at 8:45. Over in Destin, the fireworks going to start at 9. Over in Crestview, the fireworks will start at 9. Over in Niceville, the fireworks will start at 8:45. The Phoenix Springs, the fireworks will start at 9. In Freeport, the fireworks will start at 8:45. And of course, y'all know here in Pensacola, downtown, the fireworks going to start at 9. But the festivities is going to probably start around about 5 or 6 o'clock. And you make sure that you get down there in time because, it allows for traffic, okay? And also allow for you to have a space for parking and so forth. All right, now Charles, where did you go? I got my co-host Charles D. Thornton. He having a little there he is, a little technical. You bleeding through, Charles, for some reason. Your background is bleeding through and it's not really coming through here for a minute there. What you doing this morning? You mix up your coffee pot with your coffee cup with that other cup that you be sipping out of, Charles? I guess he done walked off the set now. I hope he hearing me. You hear me, Charles? Good morning. Your mic is not on, Charles. Your mic is not on.
Let me put a little light in here. No, I didn't put none of that juice in there this morning, Vernon. I knew I had to come on. I knew I had to come on.
You had to come to work, huh?
I knew I had to come on with you, Vernon, so I didn't put no chocolate milk in there this morning.
So how was your week, Charles D. Thornton Sr.?
Oh, man, Vernon, I've had a good week. I was off last week. My youngest son had surgery. He had surgery, so I had to take care of him for a week, and he's doing a lot better. He had to move in with me for a little over a couple of weeks, and I had to kind of get him back. But he's well, and he's back.
You nurtured him, so you nurtured him back to health, huh?
Yeah. So he can stand on his own too. Now that's always nice when they can stand on their own too. So yeah, he's doing great, and I just been busy going to meetings. I want to say to the people out on the beach, Vernon, if you are a citizen of Escambia County, and if you're interested in what's going on Pensacola Beach, the Island authorities, we're going to be going over the upcoming budget for the beach tonight. So the leaseholders and the folks who live out there, they always complain that they don't have input. And I am the chairman of the Santa Rosa and Island Authority. So we'll be having a meeting starting at 5, and we'll be going over the upcoming budget. So if you got any things that you think that we should be spending money on, or things that
I got something, Charles, that they ought to be spending money on.
What's that?
They ought to be doing some advertising with WBQP so we can get black folks. Y'all got an advertising budget over there?
Well, Vernon, everybody has advertising budget. It's how they spend it, because when a lot of people don't know it, but any money that a corporation spends on advertising is tax deductible. So that's why you see so much advertising out there. So you know that, don't you, Vernon? You know that.
I know, but why don't they spend money with me then?
Well, Vernon, that's we'll sit down at what you got we'll sit down at the round table on YouTube, and we'll talk about that one day. We do have a budget. We won't. I try to spend money with you where I can. That's something I can definitely look into. And we have a company that has that handles all that, and I can get with them. We have a company that handles most of our advertising, and I can get with them and see if they sub some stuff to you.
Yeah, because a lot of black folks spend a lot of money out on there. They love Pensacola Beach. They done forsaken Johnson Beach for Pensacola Beach, so we got to have to make sure that we. and Charles, thank you for for getting a black band on the beach. You had a black band on the beach a couple of months ago. That's kind of rare, but But when you got people, you know what you're saying. When you got people sitting at the table, you can make a difference. Okay, it's hard.
Vernon,
It's
let's
hard.
say this. I'm not at the table. I am the chairperson.
Yeah,
I'm
you
the
are.
chairman.
You sitting at the head of the table. You sitting at the
Okay.
head of the table.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
don't forget
Okay.
about your people. Hey, don't forget about your people, Charles.
I haven't
know you
forgotten
not.
about it. I haven't forgotten about
I
it.
know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, because that's the first time I saw it. Was there any other black man on the beach? I hadn't know that they
No,
had a black.
part of my first year on the board, I was able to get some folks came to me, and I was able to get a black band out on the beach, and predominantly black band, and I listened to what people come up to me. I have an email address at the Santa Rosa and Island Authority, and I tell folks all the time, if you want me to do something, what you do, you email me, and if you go to the website, you'll see my email address, and that way it becomes, if you email me, I'm going to pretty much have to take it to the right places and respond to it and do certain things. If you catch me on the streets, on the radio,
you like me, Charles. You may remember, and you may not.
I may, but yeah, there's a lot of things that we can do, but we talk to each other about instead of talking to the folks who can get things done. We talk to each other about what people are not doing instead of going to the folks who's in a position to, if they can't get you what everything you want, maybe some of the things you want.
Well, Charles, you making I appreciate your efforts, because you're really making a difference in this community. Not only are you the chairman of the Santa Rosa Island Authority, but you also, my grandbaby wanted to thank you for something. You were chairman of something that
I'm the president of Pensacola Silvertan.
Silvertan, right? What y'all had some event my grandbaby went to, and she said she saw you down at the Silvertan. I mean that event, and it says Charles, and her grandmama told us my classmate made that happen. She was bragging on you, Charles.
Well, yeah, I have a special spot in my heart for individuals with disability, and we deal with disabilities. And that one time we built a lot of ramps. And if you want to get next to me in my soft spot, we talk about disability, because I always say no man or woman has stood so high as when they step down to help someone with a disability. So we all just one bump, one fall away from having a disability. Yeah.
Charles, well then your heart should come out to me, because my bank account is really hurting. It's really disabled. So you need to help me with my bank account. It's really crippled. It's really disabled. So help me with that one too. Can you help me with that?
During COVID, what I done, I put my mailbox on quarantine so they couldn't deliver none of those bills when the mailman came. So
Hey Charles, you know what I told him? I told Mary, I said, well, okay, all right, now when I pass on, okay, don't worry about paying the bill. Just change the address out to Barrancas or wherever they're gonna send me. That's where they want to send. That's where they can send the bill to. Okay.
You know, we'll get to talking, Vernon, and yeah, I think about the guy who died, and I know we got business to talk, Kevin. He told his wife, he say when I leave, I want to take all of my 200,000 or whatever amount of money. I want my money to go with me. And he said, I need you to promise me that. And you done heard the story. And she said, okay, babe, I got you. So when he died, she put a check in the casket for 200,000.
I saw a meme on Facebook the other day where they had a hearse, had a U-Haul hooked up behind the hearse, and the captain saying, "Who said you couldn't take it with you?"
Anyway, my brother, you know how we are.
I saw a young man told me just yesterday. He said, "You know, I went to the VA clinic and I saw this man, and they said I recognized his face from somewhere," and said, I kept looking at him and said, he said, the curiosity got the best of me. I had to find out who he was. You know what I'm talking about? Do you remember?
Who was he?
Cliff. Cliff down at the city. So he saw
Oh
you.
yeah, Vernon. Yeah, I saw him, man. You know, I was incognito, and I looked at him. I said, man, I said, you look like you work here. You a preacher? Or you? Well, you know what?
He said the same thing about you. He said, I've been seeing it, man. I know it, but
and I said, well, I said, man, you should. And he said, yeah, I know you. And then he mentioned your name. And we exchanged numbers. He emailed me yesterday, and I emailed him back. And the commonality was we knew each other, but the commonality was you. So he's probably watching this morning. He's probably watching this morning, brother. So we got to be careful.
He's an avid watcher of this show, Charles. Yeah,
he's probably watching this morning. Yeah,
Charles. We know we got a special guest this morning. We got David Williams on, and we're gonna have David to come on for a few minutes and talk about his campaign. But before we go off, Charles, we're gonna have to talk about all these Supreme Court decisions that coming out and what it means and everything. But we got David on. Good morning, David.
We won't get David in on those Supreme Court.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, Charles, David is nonpartisan. So we don't want to get him involved with no partisan politics this morning.
No, I'm in a non-political mode right now.
How you doing this morning, David?
I'm doing fine. How y'all gentlemen doing?
We're doing great.
We're doing
great. Charles, I want to turn you had questions about for David about his campaign and how you can be able to help him get reelected. I'm gonna turn it over to you.
You're going to turn it over to David, right?
Turn it over to me.
You turn it over to me.
David, I thought you had. I thought you had. Wait a minute. No, I thought you told me off the air that you had a big. Hold on, Charles. Hold on. Didn't you tell me off the air that you had a big contribution you want to contribute to your campaign, and you got all your Republican friends that you wanted to vote nonpartisan for David? You know, I thought that's what y'all want to talk about.
Well, the only thing
open that pocketbook up, Charles. All that money you got, you can't you just got finished talking about it. You can't take it with you, right? Can you?
David,
he putting you on the spot there, Charles. He putting you on the spot.
Vernon, there's really no good response, but everybody knows where I stand in this election. And you know what I always tell David Vernon? I say, David, if you say something good about me, and if that help you, say something good. But David, if you say something bad about me, and say that damn Charles Thornton, if that help you, say it. So David.
Charles, it always make me feel good when I say that damn Charles Thornton. It might not help me, but it make me feel better.
well, I tell people all the time, it's not gonna stop the mailman. So whatever just say what you, whatever you gotta say. If liking me help you, or if hating me help you, because the main thing we're interested in is the children. So if you can beat up on me to help the children, that's fine. If you can say something nice about me to help the children, that's fine. And most people, and when I say that, Vernon, but in the political world, that's people who support political campaigns. That's a statement that you hear all the time.
Yeah. That's
true.
All right, let's quit. Let David get his time in here, Charles.
Hey, well,
okay, David, I want to turn it over to you.
I appreciate it. And look, and that's the bottom line. And that's why I do what I do. And I've been doing it for over 40 years. It's all about the children, the teachers and administrators, the one that are doing the work. The decisions that we make for the school board, where we're policy enforcers, affects their job and how hard their job is. And so I've been there, and I want people to know that. And I think people know that. And I know people know that. I did everything from being a bus driver, substitute teacher, athletic coach, a dean, assistant principal, and now school board member, trying to get in there for re-election, and the thousands of lives that I've been able to touch and influence I felt like I've been very good at it, you know, and not to brag, but I've been teacher of the year, I've been principal of the year, you know, and I was coach of the year 4 times. So I love what I'm doing. This is my calling. This is my ministry. This is what I was put here to do, and I'm pray God that I'll be able to do it for 4 more years. And you was talking about the progress we've made and affecting the children. I want everybody to know, and we was hoping school grades would be out by now. They're supposed to have been out June 30th, but usually they're not on time. But what we have been doing and putting things in place in Escambia County is we have a program called Progress Monitoring. So we're progress monitoring where we test kids 3 to 4 times a year, where parents can have immediate updates of how their children are doing and progressing toward passing these standardized tests. I'm here to report to you today, this will be, if things stay like we think they will, this will be the best academic year Escambia County has ever seen. You know, math scores are up, English scores are up, science scores are up, graduation rate, all of our high schools are above 92%. And I just want to brag on a few elementary schools that's in my district and their principals and the great job that they're doing. Global Learning Academy increased their score by 98 points. Lincoln Park increased their score by 140 points. That's Principal Sellers is at Lincoln Park, Principal Pierce is at Global. But the school that's really has made improvements, because a few years ago they were an F school, was Montclair. They've increased their points by 83 points. And then that's Principal Greenberg, and then Oakcrest is up by 17. Principal Turley, and then everybody knows Principal Dr. Thomas at Wise, they're up 6 points. So we're just excited. And in the middle school one middle school I have, of course, Brown Barge is always an A, and Pensacola High School in West Florida is in my district as well. And they're doing extremely well as other schools. And this is due in part because we're working closely with them and some of the initiatives that I've been able to put in place, because I'm an educator. And I can read school improvement plans, and I can know what the students need and the support they need. So my job has been that I provide those wraparound services to help those kids when they leave school. We do a heck of a job teaching them during the school day, but as all of y'all know, sometimes when they leave and go home, they don't have things that they need at home to help them to be academically successful. So I've been able to do that by being on the Children Trust Board and being on the Community Action Board and the Lamplighters Board, and we've been able to make sure we have 18 out-of-school programs just in District 3, and a lot of those are in the community revitalization areas. We put an initiative in where we had a whole school, whole community, whole child initiative where there's on-site medical, dental, eye, social services, mental health, mentors from 9 local agencies on several of our schools, and a lot of them are in District 3. So I'm really excited about the progress we made. I want to continue this progress for the next 4 years. I've been real busy. I mean, I've been to the Unity Fest with Marcel Davis. I went to the Movement for Change banquet with Jerry McIntosh. I was at the Juneteenth celebration with the Watson family. This past week, I was at Greater Union celebrating Cheryl Watson. Great appreciation. Saturday, I was at St. James Baptist Church. They had their community festival. And then I had a chance to get over to Mount Cana to celebrate my coach, Deacon Fred Young. He's in the hospital, but he's hanging in there. He was my first baseball coach at Terry Wayne East Park. Then I also had a chance to go to the Black Business Expo that was down at the Eddie Todd building, where the Alpha Sorority Incorporated put on that. So been just real busy, and I'm getting into the back to school giveaways. I'll be at several churches and parks, stuffing the bus, trying to get these kids ready for the upcoming school year. So that's what I've been doing in a nutshell. And as always, invite people to go to my Facebook, davidwilliams3.com, and you can read all of my initiatives, my plan for the future, my background, and everything. So I'll stop there. I can go on and on and on, because this is my passion, this is my calling, and I love what I'm doing.
David, I have a question. Real quick, tell us a little bit about the makeup of District 3 when it comes to the demographics, the student population, and some of some of the advantages and disadvantages, and why it's so important to have someone like you in that position.
Well, and Charles, you know that in District 3 is the most needed area in our district. I mean, we have 5 districts, but the poverty level, kids, 38% of all of our students in District 3 are below the poverty level. So for us to improve as a community, we've got to make sure everyone, the level of playing field, everyone has an opportunity to be successful. And, you know, and I grew up in District 3, lived in District 3. I went to school in District 3, A.A. Dixon, Brownsville Middle School, Pensacola High School. Either I went to school with you, I'm related to you, or I taught you, or I was your principal in District 3. So I have a connection with practically everyone in District 3. And so I believe that the people had a confidence in me, and they know me, I'm accessible. And as you know, Charles, when you're in this position, people call you for everything. I've been able to help people because I'm on the community action to get utility bills paid, and then the mental health, and then we work closely with law enforcement, and we provide scholarships for students when they graduate, especially for African-American male students. I've started 2 or 3 scholarship programs where we make sure that they receive funding to go on and better themselves, and so we also are heading toward the career academies. We have 69 career academies. Everybody's not going to go to college, but we can prepare them. And that's when I tell you that we make sure our students are college and career ready, that when they walk off the stage from graduation, either they're going into a career of their choice, that we've trained them and they're certified, they're going into the military, or they're going to college or some other academic institution. So just the connection that I have with everyone in District 3, I think it's an asset for District 3. And because I'm on the Children Trust Board, 51% of all the funds that was raised has been geared toward going in District 3. And of course, that helps with having Lumen May on the board with me as well. And so we're making sure that District 3 gets their fair share.
Yeah, and that's great. That sounds good. I got one more. You don't have to answer this one, but maybe the next time I see you, you tell me a little bit about what is the public school system doing about AI and all that stuff to help our students out. That's the future. You don't have to answer it right now if you don't want to. But.
No, I have a quick answer to it. We are addressing it because we've got to make sure that the students are utilizing it correctly. Everything can be a learning tool. AI can be harmful and AI can be helpful. It's just like social media. One of the platforms that I'm working on now is to get it instituted in the students how to properly use social media. I know a few weeks ago, everyone knew about the mall takeover. Well, that was because the kids were communicating through social media. But we want to make sure we use that as a learning tool. And so I've researched it and reached out to a couple of vendors who possibly can teach us or can help us teach kids how to use social media properly for a positive reason. And also to make sure to let them know the harmful effects that social media can have, because that's very important to kids. And another thing I'm trying to institute is the restriction of cell phones during the school day. We've had several states in the United States that have banned the use of cell phones because we know it's a detriment to the academic progress of students. And right now, this generation, cell phones is so important to them. Even before I retired, I used to give kids the option of, when they got using their cell phone at the wrong time, I'd say, we're going to take it up, give it back to you at the end of the day, have your parent come get it. Some of those kids would not give up their cell phone. They'd rather take 2 or 3 days home or in-school suspension or whatever. And it's a big problem. But AI is coming. We've got to get ahead of it because we want the kids to do their work and make sure it's genuine and authentic and not something that's generated by AI, because AI is a powerful tool. We've got to get ahead of that. It's a powerful tool.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else, David, do you want to share before we go on?
Well, just to have everybody to go to my website, davidwilliams3.com and check me out. I'm also on Facebook. we're just working hard. We're getting out here. We're knocking on doors, and we're doing all those things that we think need to be done, raising funds and corner waving. And early voting is coming up August 8th through the 15th. There will be 10 locations that where you can early vote. And also on my website, you can verify your voting. There's a tab on my website, so you can go and check and see your status of voting. As you know, some people have been purged and they don't even know they've been purged. And so it's important for you to know your status, but I have a tab on my website where you can go and check that as well. Early voting, August 8th through the 15th, and the times will be from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. There are 10 locations for early voting. Primary voting is August 18th, and there's about 80 locations there, and there are 18 precincts in District 3. So vote for David Williams, re-election. Let's keep the momentum going. Attendance rate is up, graduation rate is up. Like I say, when the school scores come out, it's probably going to be the best school grades we've ever had in the history of Escambia County.
Vernon, can I say one thing
Yes,
for David? David, Vernon challenged me, and you touched my heart. You guys got me here almost crying. I'm trying to find a towel, but I'm gonna check my pennies, David. I got a little piggy bank that I keep in the kitchen, and if I can come up with something, I'll give you a call.
I appreciate you, Tony.
All right. Okay.
We take pennies. We take a lot of pennies. Yes.
Well, sometimes pennies turn into dollars, and $5 and $10. So you count your pennies, and they all add up.
Okay. All right, David. We appreciate you, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, Vernon. I'll check in with you maybe next week or the week after.
Okay, not a problem.
Hello,
okay?
David.
All right.
All right. Hey, Charles, while we on the subject, you my co-host, you know how I named you the what did I call you? The other side. What did I call you?
The other side. I think I'm on
the other. I call you on the other side.
The other side.
Charles Thornton. And
Yeah.
I did it perfectly, Charles, because there's no secret. Everybody knows that I'm a lifelong Democrat, but Jerry and Derek and Jill think that I'm a fence walker. Okay, they don't think I'm a real true Democrat. They say I'm a quasi Democrat, but whatever the case may be, I'm a Democrat, and I know you're Republican and everything.
Die in the woods.
But I'm a believer of this, Charles. I'll be honest with you. I'm a believer of this. I got him. And I guess that's what my life works was in equal opportunity. I got a fair bone in my body. And I think that sometimes we need to be fair and balanced about things, okay? And I always like to listen. That's one thing I've always learned, and that's one thing my grandmother always taught me, Charles. She's always would say to me, she said, there's always three sides to a story, son. Don't ever think that your side is right, the other side is wrong, but they said, well, it's the proper combination between the two. So sometimes you're welcome to bring your Republican friends on here, okay? And I like to hear the other side, if you will.
Okay. We'll talk about that. I try to get in where I fit in.
Yeah.
And
I don't mean it. Yeah, it's not because you my co-host. It's not to call you because you're not here on because you're Republican. You're here because you're my Wednesday co-host. You just happen to be a Republican. But I think it's important, as that crazy y'all platform is, I think it's important, Charles, that we hear what the other side is, because I know it's not bat crazy to you, but it's bat crazy to me. But we have, and I got an old saying and an old analogy about if somebody tell you got a tail and you don't have a tail, something is wrong with it. Maybe your belt hanging back there. You might trip over it. But let's listen to why people feel the way they feel. Whether you agree with them or not, you might understand their position. If you might not, maybe you can come to terms of we can agree to disagree, but still we can be civil to one another. Okay.
When I talk to folks, Vernon, I tell them, I say, when you bring me on and you want to start talking politics, I say, you have to understand, not only am I a Republican, I'm the vice chairman of the Escambia County Republican Executive Committee. Yeah. So if you ask me a question, you're gonna get. Don't expect.
Don't expect a black answer. They expect a Republican answer, right?
If you bring me on your show, give me equal time, and you may or may not agree, but I am going to tell you from a Republican conservative, I'm a Republican. I just happen to be black, and hopefully my answers make common sense, because that's the sense that the good Lord gave us, and that's what we try to operate off of.
Yeah. Well, Charles, okay. Can we talk politics a little bit this morning?
We can talk politics.
Okay. I love because I'm trying to understand from the Republican point of view why they oppose certain things. Okay, let's take the birthright citizenship issue. Help me understand why they wanted to get rid of that. I mean, what's the premise behind that? That's one of our principles of this whole country. But why is that?
Vernon, originally, when that was passed, it was back, it was one of those civil rights amendments back during the 1800s, right? And it had to do with black people coming out of slavery. It had nothing to do with somebody being born here, this, that, and the other. It had to do with black slaves who was denied the right and the opportunity to be citizens. And since that time, a couple of times, they have changed it and they have upgraded. And on the Republican side of the house, we like to go to sometimes what we call the original document. We have some Supreme Court justices that are originalists. I am an originalist, and I am a constitutional a Republican. And so now that thing has been changed to somebody can be pregnant, and they could be 8-9 months pregnant, and they can just come over here, have a baby, go back, and that baby can grow up. And it's a point where sometimes it becomes a security issue, because people from China and other places come over. They have what you call anchor babies and this and that. And a lot of times, because they're not coming in the right way, they just get the baby and go back, call them anchor babies. It comes back and do us harm. And also, what it does, it allows people who don't have no interest in our country whatsoever, don't know nothing about it, they just get that citizenship. And the more they get that citizenship, really, in reality, what it does, it dilutes. To me, this is Charles talking, it's not me in a certain position. It dilutes the votes of African American black people, because now you got all these other folks coming over here who because we're not doing the things we need to do to keep up. So it's almost like a replacement. So if we get weak, if we fall off, or we look to the other side, then that's a whole new group of voters for the Democratic Party.
All right. Let's agree to disagree on that issue. Okay. I hear you, but I want to get some other thoughts too. What about the mail-in ballot issue? We got you military man. We got military people all over the world. We got disabled people. We got older people. All have a right to vote, and they can't get to a physical poll. Why would the Republicans oppose that? And then when you got a president himself use the system for his advantage, but don't want anybody else to use it. Why try to get rid of that? I don't understand that. Help me understand the premise behind their thinking with that. Other than, if y'all say it's not for voter suppression, what is it?
Well, when I was in Germany, I voted by mail, because I would get my ballots from David Stafford I had a certain amount of time to get it back in, and I voted in all the elections. But the reason is, on the mail-in ballot, we're not against the mail-in ballot. For those folks who do whatever there is, make sure they're correct on the voter roll, make sure this or that, and elderly, disabled, and even folks who doesn't in time. We're just saying, get your ballot in by election day. Some people, and make sure that ballot, not the date that you wrote on there, but
that's not what Trump had on his executive order, though, Charles.
He
wants to get rid of mail-in ballots altogether.
Well, we can't get rid of them. We're not going to get rid of them. And
we can agree on that then.
I was never against totally doing away with mail-in ballots. My only thing, and what we complain about, Vernon, is it not voter suppression, but we on the Republican side, you can agree or you can disagree. Our thing is election integrity, maintaining the integrity of our election. Joe Biden at the time, you're probably not going to agree, he ran an election campaign for his basement. And the Democrats actually made sure that he won from his basement. That was one of the most, the Democrats are not going to agree. They're not going to agree. You're not going to agree.
Stop a minute. Okay. I don't understand nothing that you said right there about he won it from his basement. I don't understand that. I don't understand why is it that when Democrat win, it's rigged, but when Republican win, it's the same thing with Trump. No, he won. We give him credit for winning the election, but it's never rigged when they run. But why is it always rigged when the Democrat won? I don't.
The Democrats started that whole thing. If Trump win, they're going to say it was rigged. That man went through Russia. Remember Russia when Trump won. Remember that Al and Bush and the Republicans cheated. So it's on both sides.
But Al Gore did the gentlemanly thing. He conceded. Y'all did cheat, but he conceded it. Okay, he said, "Okay, y'all cheated, but that's okay. We'll get you the next time."
Well, the reason he done that because we were dealing with one state, which was the state of Florida, and we were dealing with the Chad, and people's got the perception that because Bush, I don't, which one was it, Jeb Bush or something was the governor?
Yeah. Jeb was the governor then.
And Daddy Bush was having his Thanksgiving dinner, and Jeb was not going to be able to have his children. His brown children at the table.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving, if he didn't straighten that mess out, that's a joke, everybody. That's Charles Thornton doing some stuff.
Charles Thornton, one of Charles Thornton's secret jokes.
That was the Charles Thornton. But the main thing,
but Charles, you joking about
election
that.
integrity.
A lot of truism to that. Okay, a lot of truism to what you're saying. You might be joking about it, but
I did no truism. That was my one night stand, my one morning stand. No, that was my one morning.
Go ahead, Charles. Go ahead.
Okay, but what we deal with, Vernon, is election integrity, and there was a lot of stuff that goes on the Democratic side when it comes to folks who are not citizens, people who are not even eligible to vote, people who are not on the roll, same day voting. There
has been no credible evidence that we have that fraud in the election. Nothing. I mean, y'all went to court time after time again. That there have never been any credible evidence to support that theory. I hear
because everybody circled the wagon. Now you gotta listen, because most of those judges and people who rule on that stuff was Democratic appointed judges. So because people know how to pick and choose. People know how. Vernon, there's so many judges out there, federal judges. You can pick and choose to go where you want to go to get a favorable.
You get the answer where you want to, like
and you know how justice is. Used to be just us. And used to be, and we had no problem.
Just us.
Used to be just us, but that we're not going to go by what that's just like the ruling on birthright. We're going to have to look at that, Vernon, because we may have to one day look at getting a constitutional amendment. We're not going to let it just be that. And don't take my word for it. Look at Clarence Thomas and some of the folks who rule on that. The Constitution did not define, does not say anything about everybody coming over here and have a baby and go back.
But what did it say? But it says if you're born in the United States, you are a United States citizen. That's what.
And there's some more words.
Born in the United States.
Okay, you got it.
You're a United States citizen. How clear
okay,
can that?
You won that. You won
what about
that.
The Republicans don't understand about that.
But you won that. Let us do what we do. We don't come over there when Mandami and Tsunami and all the motherfuckers.
Charles, hold on. I'm glad you brought that because I know we're running out of time.
We're running out of
time, but I want to ask you this question, okay? I know we got a lot to talk about, and we're running out of time. But again, about Mandami, what's his name? The mayor.
Mandami and what's her name? The other lady.
Isn't he a
AC and all that?
Isn't he a gift? Isn't he a gift to the Republican Party? Because with him, I'm finding, which I support him. If I were going to be a Democrat, I'd probably be a socialist Democrat, because that way my heart is. but they're using him to split the Democratic Party apart. Okay, because you know the word you always use, Charles. I hear you all the time. You say, Vernon, I'm for the peoples. I'm for the people. That's your term, and that's what
I'm the original for the people.
Yeah, you're original socialist, okay? So that's what socialism is about, is you for the people. And now they are trying to paint him, trying to paint that to be something bad. I don't know, but I think he kind of, that's probably why Trump likes Mandani, okay? That's probably why he likes him, because he knows that they can use Mandani as a wedge into what they're saying about divide and conquer. Maybe that's a strategy here.
Yeah, what's going to happen is we're going to put the Democrats in a corner, and they're going to be not only Democratic socialists, but eventually they're going to be Democratic communists, because what they're doing, they're taking other people's money and trying to give it away. What's taking say somebody, you work hard for something, and somebody come take your money, say, okay, Vernon, you got a little too much here. We need to get a couple of $1,000 from you every month. In addition to all you give, we need another couple of thousand so we can give to the people. And that, a lot of times, that de-incentivizes the people. What you're doing, instead of giving the people the job, go ahead.
Charles. I hear the theory, but it just don't work for 97% of the people in America. Capitalism, we got three disciplines. We got communism, we got socialism, we got capitalism. Because our way of life is a capitalistic way of life, we always think that is the best way of life. But if you got 3% of the population controlling 97% of the resources, is that fair? You got trillionaires, you got one trillionaire, got trillions of dollars, then but you got millions of people that's starving, that don't have jobs, and why would you hoard that all of that money rather than trying to help your society, help your people? And I said I guess I'm somewhat of a socialist one time before. I always said, I told my boss one time, he was a very liberal guy, but because our capitalist society, he never understood my thought. And I said, well, I don't understand. I said, well, you got billionaires, but back then, when I had the conversation back in the 70s and 80s, there wasn't such thing as a billionaire was a millionaire, dude, a millionaire. I said, if they got millions of dollars, I said, well, if they're never denied anything, they can write a check for any time they want to. Why don't they let that money also help other folks that have a lot less than them, as long as they're not denied anything? the premise on it, he didn't understand it. He said, are you crazy? Why should I work and give my money away? Because the system is rigged against most of the common people. And I say this, Charles, you may not agree with me. I think that was the thing that got Dr. Martin Luther King killed, okay? Because he was trying to implement the poor people's movement in 1968. Now, you wake up all of these millions of folks, when they realize that the few people with all of the resources is trying to manipulate all these folks. And if you get all these folks to wake up and say, wait a minute here, that's going to be an issue, because they're not going to be able to be all millionaires and trillionaires, because they doing it at the expense of common people. I know you probably don't agree with that.
Can I comment?
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
What you gave was a good example why we shouldn't do that. It's say there are folks who just have a regular job. Maybe they work at the plant. Maybe they work on the base. Maybe they, like me and you, on a retirement. If folks look at us and say they don't need that, why don't they want to take what we have and nickel and dime us, and we need what we have. We don't know what those folks done, and we don't know what type of job they've created. We don't know nothing about how they're spending their money. Now, if we want to put up something and take their money, that's fine. But the problem is what's going to happen when they start taking what regular working people, medium or upper lower income peoples have, and lower medium income peoples have, in order to suffice their particular project. This is a capitalistic. This country was based on certain founding.
Capitalism, right? But do they make it right, though,
and
Charles?
what we need to do, we need to teach people. And I preach it, and this is what Martin Luther King and this is what Booker T. Washington said. We need to teach people how to go out and make money, because the more you hand out, the less you incentivize. The more you hand out, the more you're going to need. I don't have a problem with it, longer they don't bother my money. If y'all want to take
Charles, everybody, even though we got a capitalistic society, okay, I want you to think about this really. Everybody cannot be an Elon Musk. Everybody cannot be a billionaire. Our country can't sustain that. Everybody can't be a billionaire. If everybody had the same opportunity as Elon Musk had, and they all have trillions of dollars, you think that's not possible. You're gonna always have people that gonna be at a disadvantage.
But
I don't mind those folks that have $1 trillion, but you know what they don't do, Charles? But they don't pay their fair share of taxes. If they want to pay their fair share of taxes, then maybe that's not a problem.
Vernon, you done got caught up in the trap, man. Those are Democratic talking points. It's not. There's nothing we can do. Vernon, just listen.
Okay. Hold on a minute now.
You got to give me a minute.
John, let me ask you a question, okay? Okay. I don't know how much taxes you pay I have to pay taxes every year, even in my retirement years, okay? When April 15th, is no such thing as a refund for me, okay? No such thing. I always have to end up writing the IRS a check, and it's always more than $750, okay? And so the president of the United States got billions of dollars, okay? And what we found that in 17 and 18 or something like that, because he don't release the tax rate, we don't really know what the real story is, but we do know because those papers got leaked. He only paid $750 in taxes. Why should a millionaire only pay $750 in taxes where I'm a dollar heir, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm having to pay 10 times more than what
are you going to let me? You got to give me time to respond, Vernon. You got to.
Okay, I'm not giving time.
You got to give. You got to. You're not going to agree with what I'm saying.
Turn.
But
Here's the counterpoint.
Here's the thing, Vernon. We're worried about President Elon Musk. What we got to do is make sure that, because those folks, somewhere in all that money they make, they're paying taxes somewhere. Either the people that work for them, their corporation, somewhere the government is getting money off of them. They're not just getting all the money. They're contributing, like you say, they're running this economy. You take those peoples out, the economy and the system will probably collapse. But I'm concerned about is at this level here, where you are, I am, other folks are here. The people that we know, folks that county jobs, city jobs, it's when we make a certain amount of money and the government come looking at what we're doing. So if we have to look at ourselves, Vernon, we're not going to be able to change. We got to fight this system for ourselves. So that way, what we have to do is teach other folks how to go out and position themselves to pay into that system. Pay out what you can, but we can, if you have a socialist society, you're going to put a drain on the country, you're going to put a drain on the economy, and nobody and everybody. Then I'm going to want some extra money, Vernon. In a socialist society, I'm going to just say, I need my money in the bank, and I'm going to go live off the government, which I'm already, so I'm going to double dip.
But y'all, can I use another crazy, stupid example of what were you talking about? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question now. You had a family, right? And you was the head of the household, right?
Head of the house.
You made way more money than your wife and your children
80%,
made, right?
I was 80% the breadwinner.
Okay, all right. Now, just for an example, just because you got all of the money, okay? They didn't make any money, okay? So why? And you decided you weren't going to share your money with them. So you say this is a capitalist society. You're not going to share your money with your family. Your family going hungry. Your family doing without. They barely struggling while you making plenty of money. And then you going around carousing and drinking it up and whatever. But you're not sharing with your family. Now, it's the same thing that I see with trillionaires. We got people in this country that's hungry, disabled, need medical help and stuff like that. Now, it's the same thing. If you were to, with your job, with your money, you wouldn't provide medical support for your family. You didn't provide food for your family, that kind of stuff. Isn't it the same thing, but on a much grander and smaller scale?
If they was under a certain age, if I was married, they're gonna take me to court and get their money. Your family, you're gonna have to take care.
Well, I know that, but forget about that. That's why we got. I know, but this is a capitalistic society. Okay, what I'm saying is, why don't you just do it voluntarily when you got the resources to do it? Why we have to take you to court to do that? All I'm saying is, you worked in equal opportunity all of your life.
We're not going to do
you
it.
You got in
Vernon.
that reason why? Why should people hoard money at the expense of people that need it?
What we're going to have to do, Vernon, we're going to have to quit counting other people's money and start trying to make some money for ourselves. And that, until we quit counting other folks' money, is not going to put no money in our pocket. Counting other people's money. I see, that's an illusion, Vernon. That's an illusion. Counting other people's money is not going to put. Get up if you can.
Are you a billionaire, Charles?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Because
why not?
Because God didn't make me a billionaire. I'm gonna do like the people in the church. God didn't make me a billionaire.
Wait a minute. By your standards, if people pull themselves up by the bootstrap, they can do the same thing as Trump and Elon Musk. That's not true, Charles.
But Vernon, are you a billionaire?
In that case, you have been a trillionaire, right? I would have been a trillionaire. I wouldn't be a dollar heir. I would be a trillionaire if I had the same opportunities that Trump and Elon Musk had.
Vernon, you got folks in Congress talking about poor folks, and they milking the system. You got congressional people, representatives, you got senators, you got all these folks up in Washington, D.C., talking about the poor, talking about Elon Musk. Elon Musk and those people sitting up there, quit counting other folks' money and look at where you are. The journey begins where you are right now. That's what's going to move us.
So what you're saying?
The journey begins and what you want to do. You want to be successful starting where you are today and move yourself up and look out ways you can make money to take care of yourself and your family. Because if you mess around here worried about Elon Musk, you'll go to your grave worrying about Elon Musk. They got people out there begging for money. In a certain sense, we're more successful. And this country does a lot for people without money. But what I'm trying to get folks to do, Vernon, become somewhat self-sufficient. And when you become somewhat...
How can they do that, Charles? What's your answer y'all got for that?
You know, I cut my own grass. I could use a little help. I'll pay somebody. But they're not going to do it the way I want it. So I do it myself. They're going to come and want to, you know. Hey, whatever God gave everybody a gift. Find out what your gift is and take that gift and try to create some type of income. Take whatever it is.
Hey, Charles, and one thing we can agree on what you said just a few minutes ago. I do agree with that. You talked about the politicians, the same politicians that they fatten in their purse, okay? But again, when I was younger, I used to wonder why, and I think I did ask this question one time to my high school teacher. We were then we were teaching civics and stuff like that back then, Charles, and they was talking about. I think the president back then was only making like $100,000 a year. Yeah, $100,000 a year. But they would spend millions to get elected.
That's
and my thought were, I said, well, that don't make sense to me. Why would you spend $1 million to get $100,000 a year salary? But what I did not know at being a young age, that was a mean to a method. That little measly $100 million salary, $100,000 salary that you get a year, which is only $400,000 now, right? It's only $400,000, right?
Yeah, $400,000.
So, but they spend millions and millions of dollars to be elected. So I found out early, it's not about that salary you're going to get a year, but about all the other drifting that you can make now in politics, whether you Democrat, Republican. So that's what that's what I think that this whole political charade is. Ooh.
Can I give you two examples? Can I just give you two examples? Okay. Look at Bill Clinton and Barack Obama.
Let me give you a better example.
Look at Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. When they went in office, and look at them now. Trump had some money when he went in office.
Trump was broken than a church mouse.
He
got money now. I have to give him credit for it. He got
look at Bill Clinton and Barack Obama.
But to your point, you're right. Exactly, you're right. They can't even you know the one that really didn't take advantage of the system was Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was the only honest man that I saw. He didn't take advantage of the system. He didn't end up being a millionaire as a result of his presidency. But you're right. But the Bill Clinton and the Barack Obama is completely mild to some of your Republican friends and how they drifted in money. You compare. I want you to compare their wealth with your Republican friends' wealth, Charles. If you want to do some comparison, but to your point, you're right. But
it happened on both sides. It happened on both sides.
This ain't politics. It's just politics. Okay, and you know, the system is just corrupt. If you ask me.
And they complain and they talk about the poor. If they start giving up some of that money, that's okay. Let's just say if they get a pot for all of them to put. Look at Nancy Pelosi.
Charles,
and I can call some Republicans. I just can't. None of it floats to the top of my head right now.
Charles, I always remember you remember several years ago. You introduced me to your chairman of the Escambia County Republican Party. And this always stuck with me. He told me, he said, Vernon, he said that the Republican Party got a lot of problems, but money ain't one of them.
And he was right. Even the local party, we because we do our due diligence.
I don't know what due diligence means.
I mean, we're always working. We are always working, brother. Giving the people what they want. Getting out the boat.
Oh, Lord.
We had a lot of problems. And did we share some what? Did we give you some money that day? And Hill? Did we spend some money with you and Hill?
Spend money, exactly. That was his point to me. He wanted me to understand that. Listen, we got a lot of problem. Money ain't one of them. But he made me think, and I don't disagree with him about that, Charles. But I tell you what my daddy used to always say, and I didn't understand this, but the more I got older, the more I understood what he meant about this. He used to say all the time, he said, son, I don't know about the next world, but money run this one. Okay, don't you forget that money run this one. So I think he was absolutely right about that. And ain't nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can do with that money. And I understand the concept of collecting. I understand the capitalistic society and all that kind of stuff. And but the system, everybody does not have the same equal opportunities as some folks. Okay, that's all I can tell you.
I know we got to go, Vernon, but I don't know how you got me over here doing nonpartisan, and then you threw me down the rabbit hole.
You know why? I ain't threw that rabbit hole, but I'm just trying to understand the batshit. I always say the batshit crazy things that the Republican Party comes up with. Because I'm so, some of the things I understand, but some of the things I really don't understand. But there's a reason behind there's a philosophy. I'm just so nosy. I just want to know why y'all have such crazy policy. But I may not have to agree with it, but as long as I understand the principle behind it, maybe sometimes I just don't understand. But you cleared up some things for me. The way they think the way they think. Okay, but I'm not going to always agree with how to get there. We might all think the same way when, like we say, but we can get there in different ways, y'all. But that's
and
my
our
point.
goal is the
I
same.
want to
Our
understand.
goal is the same. Our goal is always the same. It just sometimes we travel different roads, and we got to cut the spigot on some of this money.
Yeah, Charles, let me ask you before we go, because we went over time anyway, but I got because I have to keep my shows in the half hour segment, so we went 20 minutes over, so we got about 8 more minutes left. But I want to ask you your opinion about, and I get mixed reviews on this, but I don't. The Black people are feeling like they shouldn't celebrate the 250-year anniversary. I take a different approach on that, because Black folks built this country. They have built this country. We should be just as proud of having 250 years, regardless of because we built it. We know that slavery, I can understand on one hand how they might feel, because they felt like we didn't get an even hand in this country. But United States of America would not be United States of America without Black people. What are your thoughts on that, John?
Well, I celebrated Juneteenth, and believe it or not, I got me one of them. I got my African garb, and I got everything for all occasions. But I celebrate the 4th of July as well. I have no choice. Even though, because of my military background, and that's not, and the military within itself has not always been fair. That even up until Truman passed that particular bill, we had a lot of discrimination, and even past that, to the point when I first went in, they had to give classes and stuff to kind of reintegrate us. But from a patriot standpoint, I have no choice. Number one, I'm a Republican. that has nothing to do with it. But I'm a military person, and this is my country. No matter how bad I think America is, I wouldn't trade it. I just would not trade this country. And all the people's complaining who don't want to celebrate July the 4th, then, you know, find you another country to celebrate it. You can celebrate one without disparaging or saying it's something bad about the other. This country is so great. We have Martin Luther King holiday. Now we got Juneteenth. Pretty much anything we ask for, this country somewhat in an appeasement mode, a patriotic mode, or whatever, bend over backwards to try to please us. They know a lot of times they brought us here, and for whatever reason, we was able to survive. So even today, why would you not do it today? What's so bad about this country that you can't celebrate July the 4th? Why you got to go back 20 to 50 years, 100 years, 30 years? Why can't we just celebrate today? What's happening to you so bad today besides Trump? But you had the same feeling. You had the same feeling.
I know. Charles,
Vernon was there. Bush was there.
Your point is well taken, because I can remember back in the 80s, Reagan was the Trump.
Yeah,
then Bush was the Trump. And we always gonna, and the same thing on y'all side. Then it was the Clintons, and then it was the Barack Obamas and all this other kind of stuff. So I understand that we're gonna do that. But can we change? We're gonna change something. But I like to talk about stuff like this either side.
Okay.
We're not gonna agree on that. That's one thing, the beauty I like about you, Charles. We've been friends for 40 years. We done fought each other. We done, we shouldn't be friends, but we are
piece
friends.
together.
We piece together. We done did a lot of things, but we all don't agree on anything, hardly. But our friendship is coming, and I tell Robert Hill all the time. I said, I should be beating the Charles upside the head, but something about that boy I like, and I do. I genuinely like Charles. And he said, to say the same. Speaking of Robert Hill, you heard from my friend Robert Hill?
I haven't. I haven't heard from Robert Hill, but I always hear about Robert Hill. He contacts some of my friends, and he passed out. He's in a position now where he works behind the scenes. He just passed out assignments. He's not on the front.
Yeah,
he's a delegator. He's a delegator.
Yeah. Hey Charles. I talked to him. In fact, I talked to him yesterday. He's doing okay. He's doing okay. All this issue about AI and data centers and solar farms and all those kind of stuff. But I want to show you. He'll kill me. He'll kill me if I put this on the air. Okay. But I created an AI version of Robert Hill. Okay. And I want to see what you think about it.
Oh, Vernon, you're going to be in trouble. Let me
watch
see
this
it.
now. All right, watch this.
Hey, Doc, this is me, Robert Hill, in AI format. How do you like me now? I bet the women would love me.
What do you think, Charles? I'm in trouble.
The women's always loved Hill. I remember, I just remember going places and I didn't have a date, and he'll pull up in a VIP parking spot with a lady getting out of the car with him. I said, Hill, but Hill's a good guy. That's a pretty good. Yeah. He may let you get a pass on that. Hill.
He might. But you see that I created that image from a photograph that I had of Hill. Okay, a photograph, and that's what it created for me. I said, I want you to create an image of Robert Hill and his Volkswagen and stuff like that. And this AI stuff is scary, isn't it?
I can see Hill. I can see Hill being suave like that right now. I can see. Maybe he can. and do some of that cognac. You know, I used to give him a bottle of cognac every year. Every year. So
well, you don't even. What would he do with cognac?
Give it to Omar.
He got to
give it to Omar.
But you know
what? When Omar came to town, I know what he was doing. When Omar came to town.
Well, that's one thing I have to tell you about Hill. Hill is probably the most generous person I've ever known in my lifetime. He would give and don't want nothing and nobody to do nothing for him. I don't understand that. He get mad at you.
That's it. You go in there, Hill got peanuts, popcorn, and he's sitting there and come on, Doc, you can have, and he took enjoyment when you took some of his stuff. Hill the only person I know that got excited when you ate some of his peanuts out of that.
I know, and then get mad at you when you try to do something for him. Ain't that crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. He told me, I think he would give it to Omar or somebody come by and he would just.
Yeah,
but I gave it to him. It was tradition. It was tradition.
All right, Charles. I enjoyed the conversation today, Bubba. I tell you, I had a couple of guests I had to get on this morning, but I wanted to get you in there because we hadn't had time to banter back and forth for a while. So, but I thank you. Y'all, Charles is my co-host, y'all. He ain't a guest. He's a co-host every Wednesday on Vernon in the mornings. So, Charles, again, thank you. You coming on next Wednesday? I know somebody.
I'll be here next Wednesday, Vernon. I want to thank you, Vernon, for tolerating me, putting up. You're a good man.
No, you know, you talking about a good man. You actually a good man. You get your hits now, okay? But they have to know and understand the real Charles Thornton. Because there's a good man beneath that skin. I don't care what you think about it. Don't let his politics define him, because your heart is in the right place, Charles, and I truly do. I truly do mean that. Your heart is in the right place.
You see this towel with Vernon?
You do some things.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
Hey, Charles,
saying something nice.
I know. You do some things. You do some things behind the scene that people don't know about, that affect, in particular, Black folks. You do a lot of things behind the scene that they don't know about. But you got this exterior that you want to show on the outside, but you are mushmilling on the inside. I've been knowing you for 50 years, 50 years, Charles. So I know you talk one thing, but behind the scenes, you might have you might be a Elon Musk with all the trillions of dollars, but when people ain't looking, you throw out $1 million or $2 million to other folks, but you don't want them to tell them that you did it. But I know you, Charles. But thank you.
I appreciate it, Vernon. I gotta go on that. Okay. I'm gone, Vernon. I'm gone.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go too, cause
oh, you said something nice. I gotta go. Bye.
Said something nice. So it must be planned for your funeral. I said something nice about you, huh? All right, Charles. We'll see you next Wednesday, okay? And folks, we'll see you tomorrow on Morning with Vernon. Tell everybody we're on.
It's Wednesday, hump day. Have a wonderful Wednesday with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up